Karl and Cara live on a 28-hectare farm at the southern tip of Africa, hidden in the magnificent wild mountains at the edge of the Cape Point Game Reserve, bound by the Indian Ocean on one side and the Atlantic on the other. I was drawn to the farm by my English love of tea and scones, and the handwritten sign at the open gate which reads, Succulent Nursery, and the French, T.S. Scones. Their farm is called Lalapanzi, an Ndebele word meaning to lie down or to sleep. They're two people who have collected a group of friends and like-minded followers around them, opting out for a sustainable and alternative way of living that in this time of upheaval seems particularly relevant. Here you enter a poetic fantasy, not of the grand, but of the pride of the simple, recycling and living with what they have to make use of the land and their unbounded ability to see its bounty. Central to all of this is an indescribably magic structure, the Scone Shack.
Well, I think it starts with a little bit of decadence in the bush. Scones is quite a colonial thing, you know, and everybody thinks that it's high tea. It's a very nice thing. So my idea was to just do a scone like in the bush, but sitting in a real amazing place. So the idea about the scones came from my godmother. We used to do scones on a Sunday at the Richards, so she put me onto it. And then for years, my plan was always to get the right setting. And I was thinking at one stage, like nice white tablecloths and linen out on an open field. And then this all just happened by chance. I stopped working in the film industry, and there was a bit of a slump. And a friend of mine just done a renovation and taken these old windows, which make up this Scone Shack, out of the building. So I saw them, I thought, geez, I could use those, make old school kind of conservatory and serve the scones from there. And that's basically what we started with. We just started collecting all this junk that I had lying around the farm and put this little front area together.
Karl has an extraordinary sense of design. He takes the found objects that surrounds them and creates magic in surprising ways.
A very good friend of mine years ago told me, always use what you got first of all before you go and get something new. So I thought, okay, I've got a whole pile of stuff here, let me see what I can use. And then from there it just evolved. I was going to go and I thought, well, I'm not just going to go and buy new china and plates and stuff. I always used to enjoy doing second-hand shops and all that, so I started the collection going around. Now I know quite a few ladies, because often you see these tea sets, they sit on the shelves or cabinet inside a house for years, and they only take it out once in a special occasion. My dream is that one day some lady comes in and has a nice little cup of tea and drinks it and goes like, wow, this is my teacup, you know, that's what I want to happen.
There is a smoky taste to the scones, baked in an outdoor wood oven.
So we tend to make jams every couple of weeks. Apples tend to be in season kind of all year round, so we make a lot of apple and cinnamon jam. Apples, we grate them all up and squeeze in some lemon juice, get all the ingredients in there, and we put it on a low heat on the fire, slowly, carefully, up to the boil, and then boils fast. The apple and cinnamon jam works so well with the scones, it's really delicious. So we sell quite a lot of the apple and cinnamon jam, and yeah, people like it.
A woman once asked him, "What do you farm?" With a laugh, Karl replied, "Scones." They are growing and selling succulents that visually echo Derek Jarman's austere coastal garden.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose when I was young, the main thing I was into is I was into permaculture as a way of growing plants. I knew that I needed a north-facing slope in the southern hemisphere so it could get maximum sun, and I needed water. And I didn't think growing up in Cork Bay that that piece of land would be so close by. I spoke to a friend of mine's mom. So she said, there's one farm we broke into 4 farms. You guys should go and check it out. And we took a walk down here, and I thought, geez, this is magic. And it's north-facing slope. There was water. Then I found a little map of the area, an old map, and it showed a spring up over here on the farm. So I thought, okay, cool, I'm going to take Lalapanzi. It was all bush over here. It was like how it was down the road. And I remember going to the agent, I said, if you can just show me one peg, then I'll take the area. So I actually thought I bought more farm than what I actually got. I thought it was further up. But the one peg was enough. So I said, no, is it anywhere around this peg? I'll take it, thanks. And then I started the process of clearing it. Like when I first arrived, just to clear the road in, and because I was like kind of young, hippish in those days, I thought I went to go and buy a donkey and like a bow saw and an axe. And I thought, okay, cool, I'm going to use the donkey to pull the stumps out, and start with my bow saw and my axe and cut the road in. And after 2 weeks, nothing happened. So I went out and I bought a chainsaw. It's no use having a donkey. He never did any work. I kept him for another 4 or 5 years afterwards. His name was Radar. You know, he just caused a lot of trouble.
There's a boyish Peter Pan aspect to Karl. Where else would you find a rope slide that ends with a splash in the water, a soapbox derby cart, and a gypsy caravan?
As times evolve, people sit in front of a television and have their meal. They don't discuss what happens. So that's like a breakdown of the families, and then from there is a direct breakdown of your immediate community and then of your society, because like people aren't together anymore.
There is a profound awareness of how precious water has become.
So I always used to stop at different springs, even before like the whole water shortage, because I know like different springs, I love the water, you know, even this farm water comes from a spring here, so it's really amazing to have a drink. And like when the whole water crisis happened, all of a sudden the springs that I used to stop at had a whole lot of people on them. You know, it was just kind of normal, but it was amazing because it's like going back in time again, because people were getting to watering holes and communicating, but they resolved it all there at the water, drinking water again and standing there and chatting. I used to meet like the most amazing people sitting chatting at a water hole.
There is a shelter for the farm animals who roam freely in and out of the shack. There is a teepee and a hidden home for themselves. When not working on the farm, he slips away in a small red inflatable dinghy to catch a yellowtail for their dinner.
Growing up on this coastline, there's like we've just got mainly ocean around us, and a very abundant ocean as well. So if I feel I need to get out there to go and feed myself, I get out there. I've got a small little 3-meter inflatable with a 5 horsepower, and I just launch down over here at Clifford's Bay on the other side of here and then head out to the point. A lot of people think it's a crazy thing to do, but growing up over here, you know what the weather does. It always has a set cycle. So if it's a northwesterly, I wouldn't dare to go out because I could land up more than likely in Antarctica if something goes wrong. But if it's a southeaster, I get blown up onto the shore over here and get back after a beautiful day out of this point over here, and I'm rewarded with either a massive yellowtail or a couple of yellowtail or Hottentots or whatever it might be that the ocean gives me.
Karl is a free spirit, an observer and philosopher who's travelled the world skippering yachts, a greensman in the movie industry, and a private chef. This magical lifestyle unspooling like old black and white images of frontier life 100 years ago.
We live in a world of great demand for the need for power, you know. So after living on a boat for many years, I realized that there is an alternative to generating power. So slowly on the farm, I started like stepping everything over to alternative energies. And it seemed like a worthless process at the time when I started it, because it's like everybody's saying, oh, it's not really going to work and all that, you don't have enough sun. But now I have all the houses and the pumps, and basically most of the supply of the farm is run off either the sun or the wind. And it's actually, for me, I look at it as the future for Africa. And it's always easy just to talk about I'm going to do it, and everybody thinks they're going to go and do it. But once you make that commitment to doing it, it's quite a slow process before you start seeing the rewards of what it is. But slowly, I thought if I just go ahead and do it, then maybe people would notice what I'm doing, and then that would be like a domino effect, and they'd take advantage of that and be able to see that there is something in it. Yeah, so you often get asked when you get to like wrapping up this little thing, is like, so where do you want to go to from there? What's your next stage? And it's like, it's quite a tough one for me, because it's like the next stage is right now, in this moment right here, in this beautiful place. I can't really think about it. It just puts me back right into the now, where we are. And actually, that's what actually gives us the most fulfillment, really, is right where we are at this moment, you know. So there's no big need for me to search. When I was younger, I always thought that I had something for me to go and search for, something bigger or larger or whatever it is. Now it just comes along. If you will for it to come along, it's going to come along anywhere in your life. So you have to just take it from there, really.
In these present and confused times, the life that Karl and Cara live sometimes seemed like a seductive alternative.